Afternoon guys again. This is a second part of my picking lesson, and this one will be a short one on just a simple exercise that I found very useful when I started shred playing. Simply in different octaves and different shapes, getting all your different finger patterns working. So is that shape. The exercise basically involves playing the same 2-string pattern on different octaves throughout the fretboard. So it'll be the octave on the E string, the D string and the B. This particular one I'll be showing you in A minor, but obviously it can be played at any key and any scale. I'll first show you it with the first finger patterning, and then I'll show you how you can develop it to develop all 4 fingers to do all different shapes in any single scale that you'll be using to shred. So I'll give you a close up now and show you the first one. Before I show you all the notes close up and all about what it is, I'll first play the first pattern for you fast and show you how it can be used as an exercise. So there it is. So what we basically have here is the same pattern on each pair of strings. So you have the E and A, the D and the G and the B and the E, playing the same pattern and the same actual notes. So it'll be a 6-note pattern, and playing it along the fretboard, so I guess you're moving down the neck as opposed to being boxed in, and gets the fingers working as well. So I'll show you this first one and then I'll show you how you can develop it. So for this first exercise that I showed you, I'll break down the notes for you. We start off on the E string on the 5th fret, which is an A, and then we play what I call a minor shape, which will be having the 3rd fret on the 7th, the B, and then the pinky on the 8th fret, which is a C. So you'd have this. And you then repeat that exact same shape but on the A string. So you'd have the 5th fret on the A string, 7th, and then 8th. So all together you'd have this. And then to make this an exercise over all the strings and a lot of the fretboard, we then move this shape to the next octave. So the next octave of the A here would be on the D string and be the 7th fret. So then we repeat the exact same shape. So in this case it would be 7th fret, 9th, 10th, and exactly the same on the G, 7th, 9th, 10th. So you'd have this. And then for the 3rd octave, we'll be using the 10th fret on the B string, which is obviously another A. And the notes on there will be exactly the same shape, so it'll be 10th, 12th, 13th, and the same on the E, so 10, 12, 13. Should have this. It's a very simple shape, but it can be used to drastically improve your picking, and it's also not something boring to play. You can also, if you use it in a different scale, maybe if you change it to harmonic minor, you can almost use it, but this is most definitely an exercise sort of thing. So I'll give you a close-up now of the picking when we play it, and then I'll talk about how you can vary it, because there's a lot you can do on this basic thing. So I'll show you the picking now on a certain picking pattern, and then I'll show you how you can vary it to tailor all of your needs. So as you saw there, everything was strictly alternate pick, so it was down, up, down, up, down, up. But it was the same shape on the hand, so you can, if you play this a lot, you can obviously get good at these ones. And that was 6 notes at a time, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, which is just one small thing you can do. So the first thing you can change, which doesn't necessarily help the picking, but gets it more synced up with all 4 of your fingers is change the shape. So still keeping the octaves, instead of the minor shape, you might change it to the what I also call a major shape. So you'd have first same 2 notes, but you would sharpen the 3rd note that you play. So instead of playing the C, you play the C sharp. So it'd be the 9th fret instead of the 8th string. So you'd have this. So it's a bit of a bigger stretch, but also there's a different thing that you can use. It helps you with different scalic passages. You could also change it to another shape, which should be a 1, 2, 4 shape. So you use. So you'd have same 5th fret, but then instead of moving to the 7th, you'd move to the 6th, and then to the 8th. You'd have. Which is again another different pattern. So I'll run through all of them that you could possibly use now. So that's all the shapes that you can use, but obviously only helps you with your fretting hand. So this is one thing that you can do to change the picking, or a number of things actually. Instead of picking going from string to string, you could string skip the shapes, which also helps the left hand. So you could be going. Which is very difficult, but if you're into Paul Gilbert playing, it's a good tool to build up your string skipping, which is a very difficult technique. You could also pick some notes and legato others, so you sort of get a different feel. So you might pick, say if you're in still pairs of strings, you might pick every note on the first string that you're on, but then for the second one you might only pick the first note, so you'd have this. Which is another way of practicing it. You could also do legato all of it if for those who may have a more experienced right hand picking, but maybe the legato bit weaker fingers on here. Which is also good. Yeah, that's an exercise of choice. So practice that, use all the shapes, and remember your strict alternate picking. I'll give you one more shot of that picking hand now, and that's it. So that's the exercise that I use a lot. A simple one it may be, but very effective, and I found it very, very useful, and it certainly got me onto the road with my picking and general fast playing. I recommend you try it, especially if you've watched my previous video in this picking section. If you're starting on the new technique, holding the pick differently, or unanchoring or any of that, this will certainly, practicing this regularly every day, maybe just for 15 minutes a day for a while, and should get that picking hand used to the new method, and then you should be able to apply it to what you're playing now. So I hope you found this useful, and more licks lessons will be coming up, and some compositional lessons about how to improvise, how to jam and all that. And if you have any requests, just send them to me and I'll try and get a video up on that, so don't hesitate to ask. Don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you all soon.